But the rebellion was on. Women were going to get their moment in the sun. Turn to Isaiah chapter 3. Judgment is coming. The day of reckoning is coming. That's Isaiah's message. Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are proud and walk with heads held high, outstretched necks, literally, and seductive eyes. These women have just gone crazy trying to call attention to themselves instead of humbling themselves in modesty and discretion under the headship of their husband and giving honor to him. They brazenly flaunt themselves in a seductive way. Instead of fine clothes, a donning of sackcloth, and branding instead of beauty. And then here's the fallout. Your men will fall by the sword. Guess what? When women take over a culture, men become weak. When men become weak, they can be conquered. They can be conquered. You're watching that happen in this country. As more and more and more and more women ascend to power, more and more men become weaker and weaker and weaker, and the level of vulnerability just keeps escalating. Your men will fall by the sword because they become weak. You've literally lived out the curse of Genesis 3. You've desired to dominate them, and you've done it. And your mighty ones are going to fall in battle, and her gates will lament and mourn, meaning the city, and deserted she will sit on the ground. Guess what? When all the men have been slaughtered, you can sit there with all your jewelry and junk. You've been conquered because you've overpowered your protectors. Don't misunderstand this. This is what we are living in today. The curse has been legitimized, even in the evangelical church now, the last frontier to fall. Empowering women makes weak men. Weak men make everybody vulnerable to danger. Go back to chapter 3, verse 12. Oh, my people, their oppressors are children, and women rule over them. Now, that's not intended to be anti-woman any more than it's anti-children. If children are in charge, we're in trouble. If women are in charge, we're in trouble. And if you look carefully at our nation, you would have to agree that it's childish, young, inexperienced, ignorant women who are ascending into power.
She blocked evidence. That would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California.